Hello, boys and girls. Hey, just got out of AMC. Just finished watching Strays. That funny was so moving. Took my friend with me. He, I think, is a little camera shy, so he won't be in this review. But I got a few of his opinions on the film, and he told me I could share those. It was a great film. It was a fantastic film. A little raunchy at times. I mean, it was it was raunchy throughout the whole thing, but it was a little too raunchy at times. That's what I meant. I loved all of the jokes that they told. Some of my favorite jokes, well, were actually some of his favorite jokes too. I'll keep those for the spoiler reviews. It was a great movie. Some of it was a little too much at times. They cursed quite a bit. This is not a film that my parents would go and or watch at all. Like, they'd just see the trailer and not want to watch it. Too raunchy for them. They don't like cursing. They don't like me cursing, but it was fantastic. I loved all the casting. You got Will Ferrell as Reggie. You got Jamie Foxx as what was the name of Jamie Foxx's dog? I can't think of all the names of the dogs, but you got Will Ferrell, you got Jamie Foxx, you got Isla Fisher, you got Randall Park as the four main dogs. And then there was a cameo from Dennis Quaid, which was obvious. You know, Dennis Quaid is in like almost every dog movie. So, not surprising that he was in this one too. But it was surprising that he made a cameo of himself. And then I forgot who else showed up. Someone else showed up. There was Dennis Quaid, and then there was someone else. I don't remember who else showed up. I know Will Forte played, or Will Fort. He was the owner. I know that. But there was someone else that showed up, and I was like, hey, and then I can't remember. Um, I know Josh Gad played one of the dogs. I saw his name in the credits, but that wasn't who I was thinking of. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, everyone that played the dogs were fantastic. Everyone that showed up as themselves or as humans, like human characters, were fantastic as well. It was hilarious throughout the whole film. Some of the jokes, were a little too much, and it was definitely like it was very realistic to what dogs do. Probably not realistic to how they think, but what the dogs do, very realistic. There was a lot of shit. There was a lot of dick jokes. There was a lot of jokes like that, and it was just a little too raunchy at times. They could have calmed it down a little bit. Yeah, overall it was a really good movie. Pretty emotional if you think about the actual storyline of it being a dog that was neglected and unloved, kept getting kicked out of the house. He realizes he's a stray, but he has friends that come along, and all he wants to do is make it home again. And then he finally comes to the realization that he's not a bad dog, that his owner is a bad human, bad owner. But it was still really funny. Still really funny. Yeah, it was great. It was great. I'm gonna rate it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'm gonna rate it an 8 out of 10 for the overall thing. For action, I'm gonna rate it. There wasn't. I mean, I guess there was a lot of dog action. There was a lot of dogs fucking each other, fucking couches, you know, whatever. Jamie Jamie Foxx's words, you know. Uh, I'm a stray. I can fuck whatever I want. Yeah. There was a lot of action that way, but there wasn't a lot of like action for an action movie. It's not an action movie. This is more like a comedy film. So action, I'll say I'll say a four. I'll say a four for action, just for that ending scene of Will Forte like taking a bat and trying to hit all the dogs, and then the dogs attacking him. I'll give it a four just for all that. Comedy, comedy. This movie is hilarious. Um, some of the jokes were too much, like I've said, but this movie was hilarious. Like Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx are some of the funniest actors out there, and yeah. So comedy, I'm gonna give it a nine. Drama, I'm gonna give it a six. Like it was still a pretty sad dog movie. Like if you think about the actual story of him being neglected and just wanting loved, like it was pretty heavy that way. They just cover it up with all the humor. Suspense wasn't suspenseful at all. There was quite a few surprising shots, surprising things, which I will get to in the spoiler section. I'm gonna have a spoiler section for this. So there was quite a few surprising moments, but it wasn't very suspenseful. So suspense, I'll keep it at a zero. Horror, it wasn't horror at all, so I'll keep horror at a zero as well. And overall, like I said, I'm gonna rate it 8 out of 10 overall. Now moving on to the spoiler section, I'm gonna tell you guys about a few of my favorite scenes as well as a few of my friends' favorite scenes. Um, so if you haven't watched the movie yet, I'd turn it off now. Um, and in three, two, one. All right, spoilers. Um, one of the funniest scenes. Me and my friend, after discussing it, yeah, after watching it and discussing it and talking about our favorite scenes, we both came to the realization that, like, after this scene, the movie had moved on like 20 or 30 minutes and we're both still thinking about this scene. Like, like he told me that. I'm like, yeah, I did the same thing. I was still thinking about that scene. And it was when they were at I wouldn't call it a circus. When they were at the carnival, I guess. And they saw the dog narrating that dude and they made the serial killer joke of, oh, this is the narrated dog. He's gonna narrate everything that this dude's doing. the the main dog leads are just gonna blow him away, and then he made the serial killer joke. That had me dying, dude. I was not expecting that joke at all. That had me dying when that dog said that. And I was still thinking about it like later on in the movie. My friend said that was his favorite scene of the entire movie as well. And the next scene I'm gonna bring up is while they were at the center and they were trying to get the keys off the loop and the dog was trying to trying to get hard so his penis because they were making jokes about him having big dick energy or that he needed big dick energy and that he had a big dick the entire time. And then you see the red rocket as my friend calls it. My family and I called it the lipstick. That's what we always called it when our dog did that. But yeah, that was hilarious. The red rocket trying to get the keys off. that was his second favorite scene, he said. Um, those are the two most memorable scenes. And then the cameo from Dennis Quaid, that took me by surprise too. One thing that I wish they would have kept out of the trailers actually was them getting stoned off mushrooms. If they would have kept that out of the trailers and left to that surprise um, for the movie, that would have been even a bigger surprise. Or yeah, on the surprise factor, that would have been bigger. Um, but yeah, other than that, like the trailer doesn't really give out too much. But yeah, I loved all of those scenes. They they cursed quite a bit. I wasn't expecting so much cursing in this film, with it being a film about dogs. Like even though it's rated R, I wasn't expecting that much cursing. Um, but yeah, those scenes had me dying, and that red rocket scene when it showed up, it had me thinking about. I don't know if anyone else has ever watched Jack Black's Tenacious D Pick of Destiny, which is the movie he made with Rage Cage, his bandmate from Tenacious D. Um, that movie also has a scene where Jack Black tries to get hard, and he succeeds. He gets hard and turns off the lasers that are surrounding him. Um, that that scene with the red rocket reminded me of that scene of Jack Black in Tenacious D. Maybe just because I listen to Tenacious D all the time and I listen to the Pick of Destiny album. So that line of I can't even remember how the line goes now. It's something like disarming lasers with my dick or something like that. Yeah, that that reminded me of that. But yeah, I know this is a longer review. I really enjoyed this film. It's hilarious. Don't take your kids to it if you haven't watched any promo and don't know that this is a rated R film, which I really hope that family and these families and parents don't accidentally take their kids to this film. But yeah, fair warning now if you don't know anything about this film, don't take your kids to it. I loved the film. It was great. 8 out of 10. And that's going to be it for me. Um, I don't know what the next movie I will be watching is. I know Gran Turismo and White Bird, I think, which is the like follow-up or prequel to that Owen Wilson and Julia Roberts movie Wonder. Um, I think both those come out next week, so I will be here again watching those. So look out for the reviews for those next week. And until then, I will see you guys later. All right, bye bye.